Hi guys, welcome back to another awesome Cricut video where we will be making personalized bookmarks just like these. So we are going to begin in Design Space, and I already made one just to look at so we can use it as a model. This is what we want to have. To begin, we are actually going to go to the shapes. And we're going to be choosing a square right here. In the corner, there's a little lock, and we're going to unlock it so we can change the shape and make it into a rectangle. As you can see, we can kind of mess with the shape now. And I found that this worked best for the names I was making. I made it 6 inches long and 1.5 in height. Once you have your desired length, then you can go ahead and push the little lock again. Okay, now we need that empty space in between the letters, so we need another square, and I'm actually going to change the color on this. It's easier to work with. Well, it'll be impossible if you don't change the color. We need to make another rectangle that's smaller than the one we just made. Whatever you see on the outside, that's going to be your border. So I'm making the border, kind of eyeballing it to see the size of the border that I like. Okay, once I am happy with it, I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to push slice the bottom right corner, and this should have made this happen. Now you have your border just like our model, and you could get rid of the ones at the bottom. Okay, depending on how many you want to make, you want to duplicate this border so that you don't have to do that over and over again. Okay, now let's start with the name. I'm going to actually go to thefont.com to show you my favorite fonts. I love KG fonts. I love using them in the classroom and for a lot of my projects that I do with cardstock, just because they're nice and thick, not super thin. So I'm going to go ahead and use them here as well. So I'm going to type out a name and put the font. It's called Let Her Go. If you change the color, it does make it easier for you to see. So I went ahead and made it pink because we need to make sure that the top and the bottom overlap the border. So you could kind of mess with the size, just making sure they overlap. Okay, I think this looks good, so I'm going to select both of them, name and border, and I'm going to weld. Don't forget to weld, or this is not going to work at all. Now, depending on how many names you want to make sure you duplicate that border. Here's a shorter name. Doing the same thing, making sure they overlap. Later in the video, you'll see that I probably forgot to weld one of the names, or I forgot to overlap them, and the name was kind of loose on there. And I'll just show you a couple more examples. For my next one, I'm gonna add a little heart. You can add little shapes inside along with the name if you find some cool SVGs. And like before, I just need to make sure that the top of the shape and the bottom of the shape are overlapping the border. So I'm putting my name and just placing it where I think it fits best. I'm probably going to move that heart over a little bit. select all, and weld. Most important part. For my last bookmark, I am going to write a longer name because sometimes the name just won't work with the border that you made. Because if you make the name longer, it's going to come out the sides and the bottom of the frame doesn't overlap. So just unlock your border and you can move it up to make it smaller. Lock it again. Just move your name. And if you want to make the bookmark longer, you also can do that. So there's a long name where I had to change the border. Okay, so now I'm ready to make it. Have your cardstock ready. I personally only have the 8 by 11 cardstock, the letter size, so select your material size and just put it into your machine. So you can use your blue or green mat. My blue mat isn't as sticky and that's why I'm just using one hand and doing it super fast, but you should be careful because they will rip. As you can see on this next one, I think I forgot to weld, or I wasn't careful and didn't overlap, and it's just kind of hanging there. So since I do give them to my students, I do laminate them. They last longer and I just use a very cheap Scotch laminator. I can link it down below. It's found at Amazon, Walmart. But yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it helped. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment down below or reach out. I will be happy to help with anything that I can. Okay guys, see you in the next one.